Assalamu alaikum, sir. This is our second update video on our OOP project checkers game. For that, we started with the skeleton code that was provided us in homework 4 only. We started by changing the background first. For that, we changed the name in the as the argument that was given in load texture, and we loaded our own background. For example, board.png, that is basically checkers board being displayed as background. We surely be implementing a pop-up window for start game and end game, but for first initial status, just to display a proper checkers board with pieces, we are initializing just the checkers board first. As far as the dimensions are concerned, we made it, instead of 1000 by 600, we made it 700 by 700. This same dimension, or the square dimension, is basically helping us to provide that particular grid that we want in displaying of the pieces. Right now this is in process, but what we thought initially is that having same width and same height would actually give us some idea of where to place all of these pieces, where to print all of these pieces. So this is one of those things. Apart from that, what changes are to be made in these categories is that our assets file would be changed. Right now it's showing this asset file that was provided as in the homework only, and .svg file. What we did is that we created our own asset file. If I could show you, yeah, we created this asset file which includes a board, an asset svg file, an asset png file, and a white. For the sake of just implementing white pieces, we just included this piece, but we'll sure be including a black piece as well, as shown in the other assets. So this is what we are going to implement. We did actually implemented the assets png, but as far as the svg is concerned, we were able to manage to get the code, this particular part of the code, but we weren't able to manage this particular part of the code, which is still in process. We'll be talking to the RS for this. As far as the objects are concerned, we are going with the same approach that we actually did for homework 4 only. Like, we created unit, and then under that, as a parent class, came pigeon, butterfly, and bee as inherited or derived classes. In our case, it's similar to that. We'll be having a unit as a parent file, and then we'll be having black piece and white piece as the derived classes. What we are going to make virtual is yet to be decided, as there are some conflicting views. However, what we have decided until now is that we'll be having a moving function that's going to be virtual. However, the drawing function will be implemented from the parent class only. The moving function, the reason behind moving function being virtual is that white pieces will move from left to right, and the black pieces will move from right to left. These specific changes will make them not identical, and make them, this is basically the distinguishing factor only. Another distinguishing factor, which is, I think, the most distinguishing apart from the first one, is that white pieces will become king only if they reach the black ends part, and same goes for the black pieces as well. So I think this is one particular feature of white pieces class only, that will be a sort of their function, that will track that these pieces, when reach the other end of the board, will become king. So I think this is one of the most distinguishing features that will be implemented in those particular classes only. Until, yeah, this is pretty much it. We'll be looking forward to add a pop-up window as a startup window, and a pop-up window for end, basically showing who wins or who lost the game. For that, we have that vision that we'll be popping up another smaller version of a background which will have a button of a start game, and at the end of the game we'll be having another pop-up which will basically state whoever wins. As far as the background is concerned, when the pop-up window is opened, we are trying to make all of the background being static, which will enable us to make the game state switch from 0 as the start game, 1 as the game is running, and 2 as game is ended. This is what we are looking for. And this is the update till now. Thank you so much for watching. Until now, what is being actually displayed, or what the code shows, is basically, if I compile it again and show you, it's showing us the board as we wanted, and this is how the game is actually being displayed on the screen. Our top of the file is being half shown, but I don't think that is going to matter much as we are able to close it. This is where white pieces are being aligned, and this is where black pieces are aligned, and we'll be doing all of the functions. So again, the dimensions are really specific, as we'll be dividing. First we'll be cutting out all of the boundaries, and then we'll be dividing the rest of the part by 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, so that we could have dimensions for one particular box, and then we'll be displaying it on that particular box.